Meet Jim, a 15-year-old young man, energetic, enthusiastic, full of activity, and full of plans. Jim is not just any other young man, he is also Christ centered. He has been formed by his Christ centered mom all these years, and his father, who is also Christ centered, has helped him to be a gentleman after God's own heart. Now, Jim was at a summer camp, and just as the gentleman that he is, he found one day Emma trying to unpack her tent, and Jim went on to help her without any conditions. Emma noticed the kind of gentleman that Jim is. That whole night, Emma couldn't sleep. She kept on thinking about Jim and what a fine gentleman he could be. So the last day of the summer camp, Emma invited Jim to come down to the river. And she said, "Jim, you seem to be a great man. I will reserve my first kiss only for you." Now, for Jim, this was not even an invitation. And that's because he had been formed all throughout his life to save and keep himself for his future wife. Now, Jim realized that this is not how it's going to be. And Jim turned her down. In fact, he never went down to the river. But he didn't stop at that. That night, not only did he not go down to the river, but Jim did something which would be carried forward for 12 more years. He started making a commitment ring for himself using a duct tape. The first project was to make a commitment ring for himself, but then he thought of something even more deeper. He extended that to his ankles and he made an ankle ring for himself. And Jim kept reminding himself, "I'm going to save all of my affections, all of my kisses, and all of my love and thoughts for the day I meet the future wife that I have been praying for." Years passed. In fact, 12 years passed. And when he was 27 years old, finally the fruit of his prayer and the fruit of his godly labor was given to him. He met his future wife, the wife that God created for him. Together they said yes in the church. They got married and they live a beautiful life. In fact, on the wedding day, he gave his wife a gift. He gave her a pair of scissors and told her, "All these years I have been praying and preparing for you. And this is the sign of my commitment." And he showed her his ankle rings as well as his commitment ring. And he told her, "This is the day that you can cut these off, because today I have fulfilled my commitment towards you and towards God." It is needless to say that this was the priceless gift that any Christ-centered spouse can ever give to his future spouse. The gift of unbounded and unconditional commitment. This is a true story. It's a story of Jim, a son of one of the prominent Christian writers. And this was narrated by his mother in one of her books. How has this story impacted your life? What learnings can you take from this story? As you wait and prepare for your future spouse, what are the areas where you need to recommit yourself to Christ so that you can give yourself as an unconditional, loving gift to your spouse on the day the Lord decides to unite the two of you?